Okay, so changing the wheel bearing on a Transit Mk8 350. When you've taken the wheel bolts off and obviously jacked it up safely using an axle stand as well, then you've got to undo this, which is 2 bolts, alright, the caliper, alright, I couldn't think of the word then, the right, which is 2 bolts, and then you've got 2 bolts behind for the hanger, which the hanger is that, and they are those ones, and they're 21, and they take a bit of a smack. So I use that handle, that hammer rather, and that part of the handle, if that's the spanner sticking out, coming down like that, not the end. And believe it, that's how it works for me. Anyway, with that stripped off, then you're down to the wheel, right? And you need to get that off. Right, so you got 5 of these bolts. You don't want to undo all of them because those bolts hold the hub to the disc, and so you want to undo 4 of them. They're like that. You can distinguish them from the bolts that hold the caliper on, because these ones have got full thread, and there's 5 of them, and the caliper haven't got full thread, and there's only 2 of them. But you probably get 2 new bolts with the brakes, maybe. I think I did on the other side. So with 4 of them undone, leaving that one in, then see that hole there, or that hole there, or that hole, whichever hole you want to choose, but they're bigger, yeah, and straight through, not rebraided in, if that's what you can say it's called. But anyway, that hole there, right there rather, right, I'm gonna give you an example. Turn it around until you see in there, in the back, let me see first, in the back there, somewhere, yeah, nearly, you should be able to see a bolt. See the bolt? You can see it, can't you? Right, anyway, that's where they are. And that map gas flame putting the heat in the back there, and trust me, it makes a huge difference. But map gas, not the normal gas, because that map gas gets hotter. Right, so with you heating it and remembering about your wheel speed sensor, which is there, so unless you want to put a new wheel speed sensor in, you can't heat that because it's plastic, isn't it? But if you do want to put a new wheel speed sensor in, I'll put one in on the other side, just because they're with the bearing out and being changed, you can tap the old sensor up and out easily. But if you come to want to take the wheel speed sensor out in the future, it may not come out, because they're so tight in the hole, and that they almost seize, well, they do seize, they almost form with the rust in the hole, and you only go to try and pull them out, they break and leave half the sensor in the hole. So for the sake of 20 quid, which this is what they are on this vehicle, £24 actually, well, they were to me, trade price, probably be about 36. Anyway, retail, up to you if you want to change your sensor at that time. But if you're using heat, make sure that as you go around, that side don't get really hot. But if you start with this hole here and get the heat going, the heat goes through and undoes about helps to undo about 3 or 4 of them. But I have an issue on this one, and the issue is see the end of that? Yeah, the end of that is broken off in the end of that bolt. And these are the bolts. And with the bearing, you definitely get new bolts, and obviously it's worth using new bolts. And the new bolts got, you can see the different colour there, yeah? The new bolts have got the locking, there's got long locking compound on there, keep it locked in. Anyway, once you've undone them, you can tap the disc on the back and the thing will fall out. Give it a brush in the hole where the new bearing goes, and remember that you've got to put the disc onto over the bearing, the new disc over your bearing, so it's in this position before you lift it up and push it into the hole, because the disc has to be on. Otherwise, if you put the bearing in first, then you stuffed because you can't get the disc on. So disc goes onto this, all right, and then you lift, and then you put one bolt in to keep the two together so they're tight, easy to handle, and get ready because they are heavy, right? It is heavy, and then lift it up into place. Try and find your top hole that lines up with the top hole that you're going to be putting a bolt in, and put the bolt through, and then it helps to make it all go through, and that's it. And then it's in reverse.